Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annalisa and this is Homemade Sunshine. So today is Sunday on Memorial Day weekend and my husband and I are going on a cave tour in Cumberland Caverns. Caverns, not cavern. We're going to Cumberland Caverns. I don't know why I can't say the word caverns. But we are going to be going on a wild cave tour, like something that's like more of like an actual, like, you know how you go on a cave tour and like most of it's just walking? Well, this is like crawling and scraping yourself along. So I thought, this is our second time going. This is a different cave tour than we went on the first one, go around. So I thought I could give you some tips on if you've never been on kind of like a wild cave tour, of what you might want to bring, because we learned a lot from the last time. So first off, I can link these down below. We bought these on Amazon and they've been great. Knee pads and elbow pads. My husband doesn't wear the elbow pads, so I would say, you know, you could go 50-50 on these. I like wearing them, he does not. We both wear the knee pads though. I'm telling you, you will be very sorely remiss if you don't bring some knee pads, because it's a lot of like crawling on your knees, and I mean, it's jagged rock, so I would highly recommend these. They give you a helmet there, so you don't have to worry about that. They have a helmet with a headlamp. And then this time we're both gonna be wearing gloves, because sometimes your hands can get kind of scraped up and jagged, so that is another helpful thing to bring. And I would also definitely recommend a change of clothes. I'll show you kind of what I'm wearing today. Today I've got, you know, my hair's braided. Definitely, if you have long hair, I would pull it back, but not up, because you're gonna be wearing a helmet. So it needs to be like either a low pony or a braid of some sort, because you're gonna be wearing a helmet the entire time. So I just am wearing a comfortable Life is Good t-shirt, something that, you know, is very a durable shirt. And then I've just got on some bootcut Levi's with some wool socks, and then I'm gonna be wearing my Merrells. I would wear hiking boots if you had them, but I do not. So those are what I have, and I wore them last time and they were fine. They were really dirty at the end, so I had to really clean everything. So you will get super dirty. I recommend, if you have a long drive home, to bring a change of clothes, which I'm gonna bring my chacos to change into, and oh, I gotta cut the tag off of this. I've not worn this yet. This is from a thrift store though. Is one of those built-in bra, like sport dresses. And I even brought, not too TMI, change of underwear, because last time, I mean, we got so sweaty. And then also just like some face wipes, which I'll use these on my like whole body, my arms and my legs and stuff, when I'm changing. They do have a bathhouse. I wasn't really feeling taking a shower in there, to be quite honest, but you might be a little bit braver than I am, but there is that available if you want to take a shower. Also, if you're coming from the east, like we are, you have to be really cognizant of the time change. So we have an hour time difference between East Tennessee and Middle Tennessee, so we've had to really plan around that. I will say last time it was really hard to find somewhere to eat afterwards, so we pack our lunch going there, because we have to leave here at like 10:30 to get there to this one. So that means we're gonna miss lunch, because it starts like at lunchtime. So we're going to eat on the road, and then on the way back we're gonna eat out, because we're not gonna get home until like super late, like 6:30, which is like past the time that we would have normally eaten dinner. We'll be starving to death. I recommend that you search along your route and try to pick a restaurant before, because the direction that we come from, there is very little service for the majority of the time, and the service that there is very spotty. So I would definitely recommend figuring out, I would say 2 places to go eat, just in case one of them's closed or something, and you know, and also make sure that it's going to be open depending on what time zone it's in, which you can ignore all of that if you're coming from like, you know, the north or the west, if you're in the same time zone as Cumberland Caverns, but we are not. So big difference there. I made sure to wear a headband. My husband wears his coveralls, which, you know, if you have that sort of thing, I think that would be great, because then you don't have to worry about, you know, pulling and tucking anything. It's gonna be super hot today, but I don't think it's great to have, I mean, having your arms exposed is one thing, but since you're crawling around a lot, I would wear jeans or some sort of outdoor hiking pant. They do have you crawl through what's called the box before you start. That's to make sure that you can fit through even the smallest part in the cave. The box is pretty small, so definitely I would not recommend doing this if you're claustrophobic. Caving is not for you, but yeah, you have to be able to fit through the box. So at least you know if you're not going to fit, you know, that it'll be difficult. My husband and I are both pretty like small people, and we've done it before, so we know that we are gonna fit. So we're super excited. I'll try to film and add in little bits and bobs here. I guess I can tell you what we're packing for lunch. I'm having a PB&J, and I've got some leftover guacamole and some chips and strawberries and banana. And then I packed us peanut butter crackers for the trip back. My husband packed an apple, a turkey and cheese sandwich, and some tortilla chips. And we both are bringing waters. I'm bringing 2 waters. I wear a fanny pack in the cave to keep my phone in, because I'm usually the one that takes pictures of us while we're like in the cave. I put it on just like on airplane mode, so you know it's not like killing my battery, because of course you don't have any Wi-Fi, but it's nice to have, you know, some pictures and, you know, some film in the cave to look back on, especially, you know, of each other trying to get through some of the obstacles. But it was really fun the first time. We're going on a more challenging cave tour. They actually said the one we went on first time, which I'll insert in the description the name of the first one and the one we went on today, if I can remember to. The first one, I think kids as young as 6 can go on, and they actually said that one is harder for adults than it is for children, because there's a lot more. That's the cave tour that has the most like having to squeeze through things. And there was actually a little girl in our group who's probably like 6 or 7, and she like very easily could get through everything, whereas the rest of us were like struggling because we're so much larger. So hopefully, I think there's gonna be a little less crawling today and more climbing. So I think that is everything that I would say to recommend. Oh, deodorant. Pack deodorant. You will want it when you are done, when you want to change clothes. And I have to say, oh, and bring a towel. So when you are done and you take your shoes off and, you know, all of your other junk, so if you're putting your shoes back in the car, you can have something to put them on so they're not getting your car super duper dirty, because they will be caked in mud. So those are all of my tips for now. And hey, I had to pop back in. We were getting ready to leave, but I had a couple more tips I need to tell you. First off, this is the fanny pack I bring, just so you kind of can see like size-wise how big it is. Because the only thing I bring in here is my cell phone. Everything else I leave in the car. And I would purchase your tickets in advance. You can buy them on the website. Usually it's not like the cave tour is going to be full, but just so you have that peace of mind that you're not driving all the way here and then that they're not going to be available. And then if you're wondering why I'm not wearing my wedding ring, I would not recommend wearing any jewelry, because you are going to get messy. And if you lose jewelry in the cave, it will most likely be gone forever. So I would not wear jewelry at all. So I didn't last time, was totally fine. So just try to take it off, and remember to take it off before you leave home, and just leave it at home and, you know, deal with it later. So I will see you guys later. I wanted to show you guys some of our stuff just to see how muddy it got. Of course, you can see some of the pictures that I put in the video of our clothes, because of course I've already washed those, but I've not gone through our giant utility sink full of muddy clothing. But I thought I'd show you just so you can kind of get a good feeling of how muddy you're gonna get, especially with your shoes. So yeah, they're pretty rough. This is an example of my elbow pads that I wore. They're pretty rough. I'm very sore today. Here's an example of one of our knee pads here. I'm very sore, and we're both very tired. My husband's sore too. It was very fun. We had a ton of fun. We went on the Crucible tour this time, which the one we went on the first time was a lot more crawling, like through tight spaces on your stomach and like pulling yourself up and, you know, trying to crawl like this. This was a lot more ladders and ropes and climbing up things versus squeezing through tight spaces. I think we both preferred the first tour like the best, because we liked crawling in a lot of those places versus how much climbing this one was. But we really enjoyed both of them. Like, we wouldn't have not done this one. We enjoyed both of them like immensely. We really enjoyed going to Cumberland Caverns. We had a main tour guide and we had a trainee. They were both super funny. We really enjoyed getting to meet them and going through the cave with them. Everything we brought, we used. We both used our knee pads. I can't repeat enough how much you should bring knee pads because otherwise your knees are going to be super torn up. Our guides didn't have any, and my husband asked them how'd they do it without knee pads, and they're like, we probably should be wearing knee pads, and the one was like, yeah, I can feel my knee bleeding through my pants. So take that as a warning. Just buy the knee pads. They're not very expensive on Amazon. It is worth the money that you're going to spend on it. I liked the elbow pads. My husband and our guides didn't wear them, but I appreciate having them so my elbows don't get super scraped up since I'm always wearing short sleeves. And we ate, of course, all of our food on the way there. We stopped at a really nice Mexican restaurant on the way back that we had already pre-planned to stop at. And what else? We ate all of the things that we packed for our lunch, so we packed plenty of food. And it was nice to have the peanut butter crackers to eat afterwards because it took us like hour and a half to get to the restaurant that we were going to. So you're coming out of the cave and you're pretty hungry and thirsty, so it was nice to have that little snack there. They actually were doing a concert in the cave. When we were leaving, they were like bringing people in. They have like a part where they do concerts. That looked super fun. It looked like that was like just a super neat experience, you know, to be able to go in there. It looked very well attended, so that's another cool thing you can do at Cumberland Caverns. If they're, you know, playing some music you like, you can go and listen to a concert. They also have bathrooms there and a concession stand. There's no bathrooms on like the wild cave tours, but there are for if you're going to a concert, which is good. So, my husband teased a woman that her and her family were going in because they had made a statement about us being so dirty, and my husband said, oh yeah, that's, you know, what you have to look forward to on the way in. And she goes, oh my gosh, really? Because, I mean, they're going to a concert. They're not expecting to be like, you know, caked in mud like we are. But we had a super fun time. I highly recommend it. It's very physical. You'll want a day off to rest. I would not do it and like be going to work the next day. That's just me though. It's nice to have a day to rest and recuperate because you will be sore. Take an Epsom salt bath, you know, just try to chill and relax. But all in all, super great experience. I would highly, highly recommend it. If you're into caving, of course, if you're claustrophobic, I would not do it. They ask if you're afraid of heights. My husband doesn't really enjoy heights, but he said that none of them really bothered him. There was nothing where you were like super high up and there was like a big drop off. There was like none of that. It was more like you're high up and then there's rocks all underneath of you. So, because I get kind of nervous when you're like up on like a cliff and you're like looking over and it's just like big fall, but it's nothing like that. So that's not super nerve-wracking. They did tell us that they had taken a group of 60-year-old women on this tour one time. I can't imagine doing that. It was hard enough at 24 to be able to get through it, so I cannot imagine being 60 years old and trying to do that. A little bit too intense for me, but it was a super fun way to spend our Memorial Day weekend, and you know, maybe we'll try another tour sometime. Might wait a few months, let me recuperate and get ready to go back into it again. So I hope you guys had a fun Memorial Day weekend. Leave me a comment down below if you guys did anything fun, or if you've ever been caving. Also, feel free to leave any questions that you have at all about Cumberland Caverns. I still can't say it right. I missed the R's. If you have any questions about caving or anything that I've mentioned that I haven't thought of, just say here. I feel like I've covered most everything, but if you've got a question, feel free to ask and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. I will see you guys next week. Bye.